Good morning, good morning. Just gonna get my coffee poured and then I'll get settled in and we'll get started. I was actually asleep and my alarm went off. I'm like, I won't stream today. I'm so tired. I don't feel good. I can take a day off. Then I thought about it. It's like, you know what? I don't know who depends on these streams being a thing. Maybe no one. But I'm not going to be responsible for someone not having the day they deserve because I'm feeling lazy. It just may take us a minute to really get amped up and get moving. Slothfulness has really tried to take hold of me lately. Honestly, it's really getting to me. I don't want to get up and do anything. This darn weather, that blizzard that's been coming through. This feels like the opening to a Mr. Rogers thing. We're like, he has an episode planned. He's got stuff for us to enjoy and things to show us. But he's got to come in and get his shoes on and change his coat into his sweater. Give us a little greeting to remind us that he's grateful we're there. Hello. Hey, smooth operator. Hello, 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 everybody. Oh, yes. Okay. Just a little bit longer to get my setup going. I'll be right back. I usually try not to have the start be this choppy, but it's been hard lately. I'm not sleeping well, and I'm certainly not going to bed when I should be. I just feel kind of broken lately. Something's missing. And I'm not quite sure what that something is. You know? I want to trust the higher power, and I know that there's a plan. Lord, if I don't feel burnt out, bent out, broken, something's just not right. I can't wait to get back into therapy. All right. good morning, you lovely people. Jump scare. Good morning, good morning. Thank you all for showing up. I'm just going to kind of get comfortable here. Alrighty. So I read our study earlier, but I was so tired, I don't think I comprehended any of it. So hopefully this second read through, I can actually kind of like digest some. Okay. So today we are in Romans chapter 9, verses 22 through 29. And here it says, "What if God, although choosing to show his wrath and make his power known, bore with great patience the objects of his wrath, prepared for destruction? What if he did this to make the riches of his glory known to the objects of his mercy, prepared in advance for glory? Even us, whom he also called, not only from the Jews, but also from the Gentiles. As he says in Hosea, I will call them my people who are not my people, and I will call her my loved one who is not my loved one. And in the very place where it was said to them, you are not my people, there they will be called children of the living God." Isaiah cries out concerning Israel, "Though the number of the Israelites be like the sand by the sea, only the remnant will be saved. For the Lord will carry out his sentence on earth with speed and finality." It is just as Isaiah said previously, unless the Lord Almighty had left us descendants, we would have become like Sodom, we would have been like Gomorrah. And I'm struggling with this one, guys. Honestly, I guess it wasn't just exhaustion that was keeping me from that. Because oh my, it's just going to be a day. I'm going to do a lot of sleeping today, I think. So I'm going to read the study that goes with that from Our Daily Bread. Because they lock in on one of the Isaiah passages is mentioned. It says, unless the Lord Almighty had left us some survivors, we would have become like Sodom. Hello, hello. Charles Joffin was a sailor. I'm a failure. Charles Joffin was a sailor from the young age of 11. He served as a baker on a number of ships and in 1912 got hired onto a cruise ship sailing out of Southampton, England. That ship, the Titanic, hit an iceberg in the northern Atlantic. As the ship went down, Joffin helped people into lifeboats. He himself stood atop the end of the Titanic as it sunk vertically into the water. Miraculously, he survived. 30 years later, during World War II, Charles was on another ship, the RMS Oregon. It was rammed by another vessel, and it also sank. Remarkably, Joffin survived again. Scriptures tell us we are all on a sinking ship. Paul writes, all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, Romans 3:23. He refers to the rebellious nation of Israel, quoting Isaiah, unless the Lord Almighty had left us some survivors, we would have become like Sodom, Isaiah 1:9. Paul speaks of a remnant of Israel, a shipload of survivors. Only the remnant will be saved, Romans 9:27. How are they saved? By receiving the good news, 10:16. You see, we're all like Israel. drowning in our sin. None of us can be rescued unless we receive the good news. The lifeboat that God throws out to us all is Jesus. We who believe in Jesus might need to be reminded of the remarkable truth that we are, by God's mercy, survivors. Those who haven't yet found Jesus in the troubled waters of life might do well to climb in the lifeboat. I'm so sorry that I'm struggling so much, you guys. But I mentioned my sisters in Christ a lot. How I feel like we're fighting. Every day I feel more strongly the spiritual war that's waging around me. Every day. What was on my cup? Oh, just trash. Every day I feel the devil knocking at the door. And every day I feel it more and more and more intensely. And I wonder how long before he breaks it down. But then I remember that the one who's holding that door, the one who truly controls it, is God. He's the one who's controlling who comes and who goes. But even then, when it comes to us humans, it's free will. And we have to choose to follow him. We have to choose, first of all, to call out to him and to admit our sinful nature and to accept forgiveness. It's not something that we can do without him. It's not something we should try and do without him. And why would you want to? War in and of itself is terrifying. Spiritual war, where you have to battle with your mind and your spirit, where you don't have physical weapons to defend yourself, where you have to be knowledgeable in the word. That, I wouldn't want to fight that alone. I spent years trying to fight that alone. And that's where depression comes from. At least in my case. I'm not saying, listen, don't twist my words. I'm not saying that there aren't medical and chemical imbalances that lead to things like depression, anxiety, bipolar, whatever. I definitely agree to the scientific side of that. But how much easier would those battles be if we gave them to God? How much easier would it be to find treatment, to find support, to find encouragement? I know I certainly did. When I stopped trying so hard to be in control, when I the steps that were directly in front of me instead of trying to plan out my entire life, every single day of it, all at one point in time, sitting there, okay, so this is what this day, this day, this day, and this day until the end of my days looks like. I used to think like that. This is how I'm going to be from now on. And it's some drastic change that's just not even remotely what I want to be or do. I was stuck. I still find myself pulled back into that stuck. But God is pulling me out of it, and he is saving me. No, I am not from India, and it is not on my list. Listen, there's nothing to talk about with my hair. My favorite color is green, and so I dyed my hair green. I'm not crazy about the way it looks, so I'm going to let it grow out, and I'm not going to do green again. I used the Arctic Fox brand. I wanted it to be darker, and at least for this year, I have a friend that owns a salon, and I may go in and ask her to make it a little darker. So, thank you, Buster. That sounds like a threat. think it's going to be a year. I think it's going to be just like every other year, unless we choose to make it something else. The word of this year is forgiveness. And by that I mean I can sit here and I can forgive and love while still setting boundaries. So while I still love the people that I've put on timeout, I'm not going to sit here and let someone write slurs and be racist in chat. I'm not going to tolerate death threats. Nice, Buster. It was a process. The problem is that, and this light washes me out a lot, but I have a lot of warmer undertones. I have a lot of pinks and reds under my skin. So I've rocked burgundy hair, like a purplish red, for a very, very long time. And it looks great. But the green is a blue centric, a cooler tone. So it's harder for me to pull off. And the thing is that I need to go in and like this darker part at the bottom is more what I was going for, you know? So I need to go in and see my friend and see if she can fix the roots where he accidentally left the bleach on for too long. So it is what it is. And I've loved it because it makes people so confused and so frustrated because everyone wants to make assumptions about my political affiliation, my orientation, my preferences, my affiliation to certain groups. Like, it's not that deep. It is not that deep. It is literally just that I like green. I love the color green. Plus, I'd like to make my wardrobe mostly reds and pinks this year because that's something I know that will still look good even when I go back to my normal hair. But we'll see what happens. Because I also want to make my own clothes this year. Like, I also want to develop skills that I may have lost. I used to sew my own clothes all the time. Like, my first homecoming dance I ever went to, I made my own dress. Well, no, I didn't make it. I helped make it. But it was handmade. I used to make all my own doll clothes. I used to make my own furniture for them. A lot of my gifts were handmade like that. I can crochet. I can knit, not as well as I can crochet, but I can knit. And it's more the larger projects that I get frustrated with when it comes to knitting. I'll sit and I'll knit, or I'll crochet like 7 granny squares in a sitting because I can sit and crank those out and then piece them together. So I do a lot of granny square crocheting. And there's a lot of different patterns for that to really, flex different types of stitches, to work different colors into a square. And I love it. I want to find my lyre and I want to learn how to play that finally this year. So someone had asked what 2026 was going to look like. That's how we got off on this tangent. Long story short, 2026 is my main character year. So it is such a useful skill to have, Buster. And it really, like, here's the thing. It's not hard. It's just tedious. And that's my problem with tasks that I want to do. Is that most of the time it's not that they're difficult. It's just tedious. So I can't wait to get our farm so that I can start the homestead too. I want to have goats and I want to have chickens and I want to have rabbits and I want to have a huge garden that I can and dehydrate and preserve from. So it's like, that's the dream for me. Hopefully within the next year or two. So
I don't know if I'd go completely off grid, because off grid would mean I couldn't do like this. So, and it's really hard to get around the legality. Like there's a lot of hoops to jump through for things like solar or wind power or, you know, uh, but I think a good chunk of it, like if I could run my barn, for example, on solar power, have it linked to the grid like my house for emergency purposes, but primarily run things on solar. The problem is I live in a tundra. uh, so it's tricky. The other thing is that the place we're looking to move to, just as of a year ago, almost exactly, they approved some legislation that would authorize essentially tiny house communities. So there are some stipulations. Um, so I've talked to my husband, and I'm like, I really want to do this. Like, I really want to put 3 or 4, maybe 3 to 5 tiny little cottages. Um, on a piece of land and be able to communal live with people. The problem is it's not cheap even to put a tiny house anymore. A shed conversion isn't that bad. I kind of want to do that. Then it's just a little 1 bedroom, like 1 room living thing. No, not Canada. I'm in Michigan. Very good. That is so cool. I would love to have. So the dream would be like 10 acres. I think that would be the max I'd want to manage, and that's only because I want some livestock. Um, the goats really don't need much, but they need at least an acre to themselves for pasture. If we wanted to get anything like pigs, or my ex mother in law used to raise alpacas, and they were beautiful creatures. Um, okay, very cool. Um, but if I wanted to do anything like that, then I would need more. The other thing I'd like to consider is a food forest, being able to grow things like our orchard, or mushroom logs, or berry patches and things like that. Just kind of like create a foraging environment. Um, but it takes a long time to develop a food forest. And I have to keep reassuring myself that it's going to happen in God's plan. Hey, Emma, welcome, welcome. You're hard to forget. Um, yeah. Well, that's the thing, Buster, is that like when we move, the very first thing we'll do is plant our garden. That'll just be the very first step. We move in, make sure the house is livable, make sure the space is there to do what we want to do, and then we'll till for a garden. Um, Thank you so much, Jeremy. I appreciate that. God bless you too. Um, so get the garden going and run the garden for like a year. The following year, put the garden in and get some laying chickens. Um, then the year after that would be the rabbits, and then the year after that would be the goats. And like I have like a 5 year plan. So I'm not at this point. I don't need tips or anything because I have done this a few times. I grew up on a homestead, and then living with my ex mother in law, her homestead, helping her run her farm. Um, I know what I want and what I don't want, and I know how to get most of them. They are, though, Buster. I grew up raising goats, and so that is something that I'm going to do. Only if you're not willing to educate yourself. And part of the fun of this for me is learning. So, well, see, the thing is, like I said, I have a plan, and I'm sharing my plan. I'm not taking notes on my plan. Very cool. That's Awesome, Emma. Hey, I'll be right back, guys.
I also know that my husband is a very handy man. So things like building the barn or building a chicken coop or putting up fencing for a pasture, I'm not going to have to do those things by myself this time like I would have with previous situations. Like if I say, hey, we're starting a homestead, here's the plan. Like this is year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know he's going to be by me every step of the way. We're going to plan the day that we go out and we do it. You didn't upset me, Bustard. I was just letting you know. It's like, hey, I appreciate your input, but I have put a lot of thought into this, and I already know how I want to proceed with it. But you have a blessed day if you have to go. I'm saying a lot of things like people make things more difficult than they need to be. Like people will overcomplicate for no reason. Hey Tyrone, you're in early today. How you doing, bud? Don't make yourself sick, okay, honey? That's what I'm dealing with. It's just yuck. I'm not feeling good. Um, we've kept the sick bowl nearby just because everyone's going through it right now. We thought it was just Mr. Barry's pain meds, but I don't know. So I'm surviving though, Tyrone. Thanks for asking. How are you, honey? What are you up to? I guess you answered how are you because I asked. I'm sorry. I'm like disoriented. It's not okay. I need like 7 more hours of sleep. It'll be all right. I'll wrap up live here in a little bit and I'll have some breakfast. It's probably just exhaustion, honestly, mixed with the winter blues because it has been snowing like nonstop here for about a month. And when the sun does peek out, it's only when it's like negative 12 degrees outside. So it's probably more mental than anything. I don't engage in political or polarizing conversations here. So, um, I just feel like that does not showcase God's love because I am uneducated on a lot of the topics that people bring up. And so I'm not going to sit here and make a fool of myself arguing something when I don't have enough uh, information. So, nope, I'm just pretty neutral on a lot of topics that people seem to be really fired up about. So, I don't have an opinion, honestly. I keep myself and my family safe and I focus on local government and I vote in the large elections with the information I have and leave it at that. So I'm keeping politics out of my YouTube channel. Well, praying for your family to feel better, Emma. And I hope that you don't get sick either. Alrighty. I'm so sorry, guys. I need to get my sleepers. It is so cold. When I woke up this morning, checked my weather app, it said -7 degrees. Now, the thing about that is that's just the true temperature. If I stepped outside, what does it feel like? What is the wind bringing that temperature down to? Have any of you guys been following the British guys that are here in America right now, Josh and Jace? Because if so, you've seen some of the weather that we're dealing with. I'm within a reasonable drive radius of where he was in the hospital. So I should be back up now. Let me know if it's not working. Hey, Mercy, welcome, welcome. That's funny, our Bible study was about mercy today. And about how God's mercy is the only reason that we have a relationship with Him. It's because He had mercy on us and sent Jesus down to die for our sins. Now the study's making sense. Is it not? Hang on. All right, can you hear me now? Did that work? I turned off my earbud. Okay, bye. I don't know what's happening. Okay. I turned off my earbud. I don't know. It must be something on her end. Oh, I'm flattered, creator. Thank you. I don't know how one looks innocent. I've never committed murder. I've never stolen anything. Emma, I think it was something on your end, sweetie. I don't know what happened, but I don't know. Everything was green on my side. Oh. I'm just out here doing the best I can with what God's given me. Oh, psh. Smooth. Hey, I agree with your username. The internet needs a reset button. Heck yeah, it does. I've been watching documentaries on like why the internet is dead, why dead internet theory is a thing.
Like, I'm so sick of cycling through the same, like, 6 apps, and that's it, so thank you, likewise, God bless you. Mikey, wrong about what? What did I miss? I have not seen you anywhere else in the chat. Unless someone changed their username at some point, which has happened before. Well, if you're not right, then you're left. I'm sorry, that was bad. I'm sorry. Cancel me now. I am 32. So, I am 32. I am happily married to the love of my life. He's an amazing man. Guys, I really want to do my makeup, but I didn't get eyeliner yesterday. I left my wallet at home. No, Emma, I am not giving you my real name. Oh, thank you. So you probably also wouldn't believe me when I say I have 7 kids, too. Thank you. You as well, love. I'm 32. My husband and I have 7 children. That's part of why the homestead fantasy is so big for me, because it's a blended family, and most of the children, 3 of them live with my ex-husband, 2 of them live with his ex-wife, and 2 of them live with us. And the goal is to bring them all under one roof eventually. So, no, nope. It's almost an even split. We have 3 girls and 4 boys. And if I hadn't had a tubal after our joint son was born, um, we would hopefully be having one more, but it's not in God's plan. No. No, and I refuse to do what my dad did to me. My girls will grow up knowing that they can do whatever they want to. If they're honoring God, they will either serve within the church or they will serve within a home. But that is a choice they will get to make. I will encourage them to seek God in their lives. And by serving in the church, I mean, can you teach? Can you get into medicine? Can you get into a courtroom and still honor God with those acts? Like, chase your dreams, be whatever you want to be. Make sure Christ is at the center of it. For me, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I also love working in retail because it gives me a chance to be exposed to the public. I've had some amazing Christ-centered conversations with customers. When they open the door and are open to it, I'm not sitting there like Bible thumping at my counter. I don't believe in that. But I believe in the work that God's done in my life, and I want to share that. As long as any of my children, honestly, girls and boys alike, as long as any of them are doing that, let them do what they want as far as chasing their dreams. My job as a parent is to give them a good foundation, to give them the strength to set boundaries, and to pursue a life that honors Him. And I believe that the hard work that a farm/homestead requires really sets that bar. Because I look at my ex-husband, I just feel sad for him, honestly. I do, because his family, like his mother and her siblings and their parents and their parents' parents, they were hard-working people. They came from the generation where if you didn't work hard, you died. Like, it was that simple. Like, you just didn't do anything but work hard. Unfortunately, that led to, and it was through no fault of anyone's, honestly, it was just it led to such a comfortable life for my ex-husband that now he's in his mid 30s and he doesn't understand how the world works in a way that allows him to be a member of society that contributes positively to it. And I fell into that trap for quite a few years where it was like, okay, um, it was a conflict between what I was seeing from him as a leader in the household when he didn't know how to be a leader. He'd never been asked to step up and be a leader. Meanwhile, I'd always been taught that a woman is to submit to her husband. And so when he called shots or allowed me to call shots and I was making bad calls because I didn't understand myself, we just kept sinking deeper and deeper and deeper into a pit until eventually our marriage broke because it was like I was trying to lead, but I was also trying to lead from the sidelines, but I was also trying to do everything by myself instead of it being a partnership. And it was just, it fell apart because both of us wanted different things and we matured. And as we matured, we separated spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and just a lot of things could not line up. And that's where, like, and we were divorced before I came back to Christ, before I was actually born again. So I know that God has forgiven all of that. And I'm working through a lot of that right now because I know I have a lot of responsibility in that. I was not someone that guided us in a positive direction. I took advantage very much of the fact that he didn't know how to step up and be head of household. Um, a lot of that, I mean, like they say, okay, so my thing is don't use your childhood trauma as an excuse. You know, at some point you have to grow past that. Um, I never attempted to grow past that, and that fault is mine. Um, so I was relying heavily on a lot of coping mechanisms that I used growing up with a narcissist for a mom, for a stepmom. And to this day, I guarantee she won't remember the day. I'm gonna here. I'm sorry. I should have said I'm trauma dumping just a little bit, guys. So, if you're sensitive to physical abuse, if you're sensitive to mental or emotional abuse, this is your trigger warning. um, my story's not a pretty one, but what that is though, here's the thing, and this is why I do keep it at the forefront of my mind. My story may help someone else know that they're not alone. May help someone know that someone else has gone through the things they've gone through. My mentor right now, an amazing lady. And while our stories are not exactly the same, there are a lot of parallels that allow us to connect and realize that we can survive it. I look at her life and I look at some of the things she's accomplishing at her age and realize I've got so much of my life ahead of me still. She's just now getting to some of her dreams and achieving some of the things that she wanted to achieve in life. And it's helping me not to go to the places that she went to, but knowing that it's still achievable and that I could achieve it early because I have God on my side. So that's why I share my story. I guess we're not going to get into the trauma, which is a good thing. But I share my story at a level I'm comfortable sharing it because I want other people to know that they're not alone. No, and I'm not looking to fix it. I am, let me also say that I am in a group therapy program right now. It's called Celebrate Recovery. I highly recommend looking it up. It is a God led healing program that, where like AA focuses on alcohol or there's drug rehab groups or whatever. This just focuses on any hurt habit or hang up you may have. And it dives into those things and starts unpacking them. So I started going to this wanting to address my overeating and my overspending. and kind of like, okay, well, maybe I'm just, ignoring something that's going on that I just really need to face and accept. And what does that look like? And in doing just the first chapter in our workbook on denial and how denial it convinces us that nothing's wrong, it lengthens our suffering, it affects our relationships with other people, it drains our energy. Um, and in accepting that we can't fix things ourselves, it gives God room to work. Unfortunately, it's very painful. You don't go through extensive heart surgery and not have some pain in the healing process. Like there's a reason that pain meds are a thing to manage that pain. Well, the thing about emotional and mental pain and trauma and hurt is that you don't get pain meds to deal with it. So it's very hard to heal from in a way that doesn't leave nasty, disgusting scars. But even those scars can fade. They'll never go away because that what happened to you happened to you. Like you said, you can't change the past. It still happened. So you still have to find a way to come to terms with it. And for me, a lot of that childhood stuff that I was talking about, when I grew up, came in the form of overeating, spending money I didn't have to spend. So I've always had trouble making my bills because I'm irresponsible with money. And another one was my sex addiction. I drowned my feelings with multiple partners, with painful pursuits, with really just awful, awful dark things. So, shame on you. It's called retrospective for a reason, looking back and learning from it. You're right. So, if we don't learn history, we are doomed to repeat it. That's the saying, isn't it? So, I don't dwell there anymore consciously. I don't consciously dwell there anymore. And now with this group therapy that I'm going through this year, I'm learning how to let go of the subconscious dwelling there as well. Because there's still parts of me when I see certain people, when I hear certain phrases, when I'm in certain situations, I'm a 7-year-old girl again. I'm a 12-year-old girl again. I'm sitting there in the mentality of that child that never really understood. And so she couldn't work through it and accept what happened or what she saw or what she went through. And so as an adult who does have that understanding, I now have to make that connection between the two sides of myself and let that little girl know it's okay. You're safe now. You survived it. And we're going to be okay. So I don't look back to sit here and say, oh, feel sorry for me. I look back to say it's okay to let go and to move forward. Because even if that hurt, even if you forgot all of it or had to go through it again, God forbid had to go through it again, you're still going to wake up tomorrow breathing. Because there's a little bit of fight in all of us. You just got to know where to look for it. It is black coffee with a scoop of the Ryze, RYZE mushroom coffee in it. Hashtag not sponsored. I would love to be. Ryze, hit me up. I would love to do a sponsorship. But hello. Caitlin, good morning from the US.
Oh.
Wow. I'm sorry. I did not mean to dig deep on a stream like that, guys. And that's funny because I was just telling a friend of mine last night that I do these to be able to tell my story. So, oh, then go to sleep. See, and that's why I don't drink tea right now, internet, because I don't have a kettle yet. I did. The problem is with the way that my hair curls, undercut just makes my hair poof really bad. I did it once in high school and it looked horrible. So I will never do that again. Just like I will never do the green hair again. I'm committed to it for this year, and then I'm just gonna let it grow out and be gone and be done with it. Because I don't like the way it looks. I love the color green. I do not like the way it looks on my head. But it's hair. It's one of the few areas in life where I can make a really bad mistake with it and not freak out. Hi, Beanie. Hello, precious. How did you sleep? Good. You fell asleep on the floor last night. I tried like several times to wake you up. And you're just too heavy for me to carry anymore. You need a bath today, though, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm working right now. When I'm done working, we can play that game you asked me to play, okay? Do you see the grocery bags over there? The one closest to the game chair. Go in there. You'll know what I'm sending you for. I'm not falling asleep, Llama, because I am drinking coffee. I will fall asleep shortly after I end stream. I promise you that. Especially since I don't have to work today. Non-person, it really did not look good because what it does is you see how it's like kind of wavy curly and it's already kind of like poofing a little bit here at the ends. So part of that is I need to get my dead ends trimmed. The other part is these curls layer on themselves. And so you add an undercut to that. And the way that it reacted is that I don't know if she just did it wrong, but it aggravated the lift and just made it look really poofy. It was not good. So I've heard, go in there, go into the bag, put your hand in the bag and look. I've heard Cosmo from Fairly Odd Parents. I've heard Billie Eilish. I've heard Joker. I've heard Hulk. I've heard assumptions about my political leaning, my sexual orientation, I've heard so much and it makes me laugh. It's literally just I love the color green. So hey, hello, Andy. Yeah, absolutely. Can you not find it? There's not a box in there? No. Okay, try the bag in front of it. One of those bags has a box in it. That's not, you went around, buddy. You went to the other side. The bag you were looking in, look in the bag in front of it. There's only 3 grocery bags left over there. Yes, that one, right in front of you. Mm-hmm. You can pull the plastic bag right out of there. Oh, if it's heavy, then that's probably not the one. Oh, no, that's not the one. Pull the plastic bag out of the first bag you were looking in. I'm pretty sure that's the bag that it's in. Thank you. I'm just I bought something for my son, and I'm trying to guide him in finding it so I don't have to do it for him. Because he's capable. It's just finding the thing in the bag. Pull the plastic bag out of the first bag you were looking in, bub. This one? Yeah, pull the plastic bag out of there. So there is something in that one still. Yeah. Wait. Bring it here. Let me see. Oh, what is that? Oh, the buns for lunch. Oh, what's that? Crow. We've been asking Mama for
Graham cracker.
graham crackers.
I tried them
Okay.
with
I encourage
marshmallows.
you, Internet, to kind of dive into.
I want to try them with some marshmallows.
I'm not doing them with marshmallows right now because we only have the mini marshmallows. I might have some marshmallow fluff in the cupboard, but that'll be an afternoon snack. You're not having that at 8 in the morning, okay? Here, Mom's going to take 2. Here you go. I need milk. I have 7. I have 7 babies. My husband and I have a very full life. Okay, I'm digging it. Coffee and graham crackers. That is such a mom breakfast. Yeah, as much as I want another baby, I don't think it's in the cards for us. Hey, Bubby. I already turned the TV down, so if you want to watch a cartoon while I wrap up, I've got about half an hour left, okay? But that's up to you. I'll play Wobbly World with you after I'm done, okay? Okay. Oh. Oh, that's the only thing about that Rise mushroom coffee. It settles in the bottom of the cup. Is that an S? Hello, Sarah. You know what's really good with graham crackers is peanut butter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like peanut butter. Like peanut butter. I kind of want to try on
Thank you.
these on this cracker.
Mm-hmm.
I tried them showing this cracker.
Mm-hmm. Another really good way to eat them is dipping them in cold milk.
Yeah.
These are a treat. We only really get the graham crackers maybe once every 3 months or so. I prefer crunchy peanut butter, but I'll eat smooth when that's all we have in the house. I gotta do some baking with peanut butter though, because someone gave us like 8 jars of peanut butter. So, what does that even mean? That comment made me really uncomfortable. No, Dee, I don't work today because of the weather. The public transportation system in my city is not running today. So my boss was very understanding and already knew that I had talked to someone yesterday about covering my shift. We are an English-only chat just because I have no way of vetting your comment and making sure that it's not inappropriate. Okay, I'll keep my eye out for him, Sarah. Thank you. I work in retail. And yesterday, so I go in yesterday. First of all, I pay the bus to go in, and the bus almost couldn't come. Yesterday, they were trying to say, we can't pick you up, or we have to pick you up way early. Well, I have a 4-year-old, and his dad's at work until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I worked at 4, so there was just enough of a gap for him to get home and me to get the bus. So they tried to cancel on me yesterday. So when I went in last night, and then we closed like 2 or 3 hours after I got there, I'm like, I'm not paying the bus to come in again. just to close early again. No, thank you. So, oh, okay. I'll look for it, Sarah. Thank you. So I told them, and I was talking to my coworker about it. I'm like, if it's a snow day too, and there's a chance that I have all my kids, I'm not gonna try and leave them. My husband's in a cast right now and on crutches, so I'm not gonna mess with all that. So I already warned them last night, and then as we locked up, I told my closing manager, I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing it. There's a good chance the bus system's not running tomorrow because of the weather. And even if it is, I don't want them to call and tell me they've got to move everything around. So I'm not paying to come in to close 2 hours early, and it's supposed to be worse today than it was yesterday. So I'll definitely be closing early today too. So well, then don't eat the whole package. Set it aside, and when I'm done, we can do that. Okay. But so I had already set up someone that wanted to take my shift. And if she can't take it because she's coming from further away than I am, there's someone else that is always looking for hours and happy to pick up a shift. So I released my shift to the open shift pool, and if someone grabs it, awesome. And if not, well, they already knew I wasn't coming tonight. So. When I'm done with stream, I'll be calling the store to just let them know that, hey, I never got this girl's number, so if you could give her a call, let her know that shift is available, just in case she hasn't seen it yet. But I'm not coming in. I'm gonna need to grab another cup of coffee here soon. Can I what? About 20 to 30 minutes, give or take. It's only because of the weather. I absolutely love my job, and normally I wouldn't care about going in. But if my 6-hour shift is going to turn into a 2-hour shift, why am I there? You know, because the thing is, if you work less than 4 hours, our policy is you do not get paid for your shift, even if closing the store is out of your control. So it's just such a pain. Oh, thank you. Thank you. My husband dyed it for me. I want it to be a little darker, so I am going to go in and get it professionally touched up. But for it being his first time working with bleach, I'll give him props. Reach, son. Okay. Honestly, not as much as I'd like to be. Why don't you get it all loaded up? And then I'll join you when I'm done. Okay. My thing is, when I hit my weight loss goal, my prize is a full Lolita costume. I love the Victorian inspired look, the lace, the frills, the parasols, the shoes. I adore it. But I'm not going to spend an extra $300 to get one in my size right now. I don't mind spending $200 to $500 on a costume, but I'm not going to spend upwards of $1,000 to do so. Hey, boo-boo! I didn't even know you were here. Take care, hon. gonna need to go grab a little more coffee.
Then you'll play with me. After I won.
This stream takes an hour and a half out of my entire day. That's it.
Oh.
And on days that I don't work, he gets the rest of that. I could, Sarah, but it's like, so you weren't, I guess you weren't here for the earlier conversation, which is totally cool. I can sew. It is a tedious job, and so I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't have my glasses on. I can't see what it's doing. Don't push buttons while it's loading. Black Cat, I try to focus on low carb with occasional deviations, just because that's life. You know, you can't win it all. So yeah. So my thing is that like simple things like a sundress that I can whip out in 2 hours if I'm really paying attention to the lining and the zipper placement and everything like that. If I can whip it out in 2 hours, I'm golden. If I'm gonna spend 3 weeks getting it just right, because I have to factor in working, taking care of the kids, taking care of the husband, church obligations, all of that kind of stuff. If it's gonna take me several weeks to do, no thank you. No thank you. It is a skill I would like to develop more so that I can do it faster. But I'd like to drop 3 or 4 dress sizes.
I'm working in my.
A little neurosis.
I'm going to be a lobby here too.
I love you, baby boy. Do I give you enough attention? Yeah? Okay.
You play every single game I want you to play with me every day. I pressed this button 2 times. You told me to press the button 2 times.
Okay, if it told you to press the button, then you're doing what you're supposed to.
Yep.
Thank you, Sarah. He's a character. He's hilarious. I'm gonna go grab some more coffee real quick. Vitamins in.
Get my picture in the house and press this button. Pick a character.
Okay, you do that.
Now I'm going to pick the character that has that tongue on it.
A tongue?
Yeah. Wait, why is there a car with
That is disrespectful.
3
Loss or not, you need help. And I hope you find it. Lord be with you.
I hope
I am not in Minnesota, no.
I'm going to the beach.
They're a neighbor.
That will lead me into a lobby character.
You are too much, son.
I dropped my controller.
Yeah, you did.
Why did I drop the controller?
Is that graham cracker hitting the spot? Is that what you've been asking for?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So I'm doing, let me see if I can green screen it up. It won't be a great thing. Is that it? I think that might be it. Let's see here. It is, but it's not.
Peanut butter
So,
first,
let me move.
and then milk.
It's not going to do it. Okay, I don't like the green screen effect. It's so glitchy. But this is a Korean glow diet. And week 1, which focuses on the protein shakes and such, I can make a community post about it. My green hair is actually green screening for the most part. It's so funny. It's so bad. I'll make a community post, but I need to buy the protein shake for it, so that I can get started. Basically, it's like a hard reset of the diet. I'm not setting myself a loss plan. It's not like this is my starting weight and this is where I want to be. It's just gonna be, I'm gonna track my starting weight, and then every week I will weigh in. And just take the losses as they come or don't come. Like, this is more resetting my sugar cravings.
First, and then it will you into a bracelet.
Okay, so how about you put the controller down so you stop bumping buttons, because this is taking much longer to load than it should have.
Okay. I'm going to
So like the first week is what I'm focused on, and I'm just going to set myself up for that first week. So it's the first 3 days are 4 protein shakes. So like your breakfast, your lunch, your snack, your dinner. And I'm going to set alarms for that so I space them out. Even if I'm like, oh, I had a shake and it's been 3 hours, I can go that last hour to get that, to get to the next shake. So, and then the last 4 days, hey, okay, I'm glad you're having fun, but you don't get to talk over me. That's rude. If you need my attention, you can call my name. Let me finish what I'm saying, and then I'm happy to talk to you. But it is rude to interrupt people, okay? I see you're loading in. Looks like it's going through the story, the opening again. Hey, look at that.
Now can you play with me?
As soon as I'm done, buddy. I got 15 minutes, okay? He's so excited. I told him yesterday that today was his day for whatever he wanted to do, because I knew that the weather was going to be nasty again. Anyway, so this first week is what I'm focused on. And it is essentially focused on low carb, high protein, resetting the body. The protein shakes are just an easy way for me to do that. I may alter a little bit and try and get some fiber in there through like chia seeds. And I'll keep drinking my Rise coffee. I may actually, because I'm doing the powder. I'm not doing a premixed shake. It's too expensive. The powder is the cheaper way to go, because I can get 22 scoops of powder for $20 versus 12 premixed shakes for $20. But anyways, so I can mix my Rise coffee into the protein powder. That's genius. Oh, I'm excited to try that. Anyways, so the first 3 days are the 4 protein shakes. I'm going to time those out so I can just push hour to hour for it. And then the last 4 days of that first week are 1 low-calorie meal. And I can bulk eat with that if I'm worried about it. So like yogurt is a great idea because I'm going to be flushing out my whole system. So like yogurt with some fruit, maybe some oatmeal, things like that. But my main focus is going to be on lean meats and veggies. So really still getting that clean protein in, and then bulk eating the fiber stuff with the vegetables. So broccoli, I love broccoli, and I always keep a giant bag of it in my freezer for an easy access meal. I love salads. I love the peas, carrots, and corn blends. I love riced cauliflower. The problem is a lot of these, I know, like, you'll look at me like, "Ugh, you don't love vegetables." I didn't for a very long time. For a very long time, my meals were ice cream and Oreos and full sugar soda and things like that. And we're recovering from the things that made me feel like that was a safety net. So as we recover, we make better choices. And for me right now, it feels like this hard reset of my diet as I'm going through these therapy sessions. I see you. As I'm going through these group therapy sessions, I'm going to reset my diet, reset my mind, refocus on God with all of it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the kombucha. I was trying to figure out how our farm conversation tied into that. I'm also moving away from sodas. I don't drink near as much soda as I used to. My energy drinks, I've cut them down from like 4 or 5 a day down to 1 every 3 or 4 days. Hate is a very strong word. I recommend you reconsider that phrasing. And there's no reason to hate people for food choices. I don't think that word means what you think it means. Unless you are pregnant and trying to go into labor. And even then, I've never heard of Oreos being the hack for inducing labor. Do you mean enticing? But the shade is on my back. That's a choice you can make.
What is it going for?
No, that's kind of why I like this approach, because its focus is on the protein, high protein, low carb. But like the protein shakes are going to have sugar in them. You know, it's not going to be like 0 sugar, but it's not going to be like the amount of sugar I've taken in the past. So I don't believe in the carnivore diet. I think that's too extreme. If it works for you, great. Does not work for me. No, sugar is not the enemy, actually. Your brain runs on glucose and exclusively on glucose. The rest of your body can run on fat. But if you do not have fat to turn into a fuel source for your body will turn protein into glucose to fuel your brain. So, sugar in excess can be the enemy. Can be. So, hey, I take that very seriously. My husband is a type 1 diabetic. He does not have a functioning pancreas. So we already battle with that kind of war in our house. Hello again. Hey, keep your comments in English, please, so that I can make sure that you are abiding by the rules. And please respect that I'm a married woman and I have absolutely 0 interest in you.
Wait, what is that story day?
I love, there's a content creator, I always reference him when we start talking about diet on this channel. His name's Liam. His handle is the Plant Slant, and I think some numbers, I don't remember. But he is can't remember if he's a nutritionist or a dietitian or if they're one and the same or whatever, but he handles food. It is his job. He is well versed on food science and diet and moderation, and he focuses on helping people heal their relationship with food and learning how to address eating problems on both sides of the spectrum. He doesn't show preference to one or the other. But he talks about moderation. So it's like, you know, don't be afraid of chemicals. Aspartame is a great one that he kind of educated me on. It's like, if it doesn't function in your body, like my sister gets really bad migraines when she drinks 0 sugar sodas. So she doesn't drink them. She just moderates her full sugar soda. She'll have it as a special treat every now and then, or she'll have a probiotic soda or something like that. Well, it comes with the intelligence, Sarah. And not all animals. There are animals like goats. As much as I want goats, you have to watch them because they will eat literally till their stomach explodes. There are animals that will eat things that they, dogs will eat literally anything sometimes. How many times have you heard of a dog having to go in for emergency surgery or to get their stomach pumped because of them eating something that shouldn't have gone into their mouth? So it's really, that's not entirely a true statement. What, Bubby?
I'm going to go get some milk and some peanut butter so you can.
I can pour your milk, but the peanut butter is going to be a process. You can get a cup out of the dishwasher because it's clean, okay? Okay.
I'm getting the strawberry cup.
Okay, we're going to do this.
What? Sound it.
Just for today.
Got the strawberry cup. I got the strawberry.
Okay, 1 second. There, at least for now. Well, you brought me cup. You brought me cracker. What's the next step? What are we doing?
Milk.
We're about done here, guys. In the next 5 minutes, we're going to be wrapping up anyways. I did, unfortunately, have to add some words to our blocked words list just because people were using them to abuse the chat. Hopefully, I'll be able to take them off of the blocked words list and we can have a constructive discussion on the topic someday. I might talk to my husband and see if he'd be willing to speak on his experience. He's fought the fight for almost 18 years. Lost his pancreas when he was 17. He has a story to tell about it. And it had nothing to do with his diet. It literally was just, it's an autoimmune thing. When it's type 1, the body will literally recognize the pancreas as a foreign object and will kill it. And that's why pancreatic transplants are so difficult. Can you put the milk back in the fridge before we focus on the peanut butter? I don't have the hands to take the peanut butter from you. That's the problem.
Plant right here.
Okay. Go put the milk away.
Yeah.
Have a lovely day, Sarah. Blessings to you. God be with you, sweetheart. I need a butter knife for the peanut butter too, buddy. On that note, guys, I'm going to take off too. Remember, I love you. God loves you. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Tomorrow.